creep tried to cancel problematic VTubers, but got completely exposed instead. I don't know what I feel like I missed this. There's Juju and why is it always Juju and Powder? But anyway, we're gonna go in. And why does she consume her white girl slop, right? We're going in, ref video. Also please consider liking and subscribing. I am just like I don't know what to expect. We'll go in. I don't know, maybe I missed this? I don't know how.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video I'm going to be doing what is pretty much a national pastime on this channel, and that is talk about the usual...
Yeah, it is very interesting, right? It's the usual case now for these two, right? They just make all of them angry, and I love that they make them angry. Right? The monkey woman and the elf woman.
suspects on Twitter screeching about problematic VTubers. Entering the Thunderdome today, we have the problematic VTubers, Powder and Banana Juju. We've talked about both of these VTubers before on this channel. A lot of people are very mad at them.
You have to realize this, okay? Powder went like straight up just full honest powder mode eventually. Juju's an interesting case, right? Her hype started because she is a monkey woman with fair. Her VTuber model is a monkey woman with fair skin and dreads on her model, which she has dreads IRL. And people got mad over that and tried to cancel her. Right? And that is how it started, right? It is really, really interesting to see how much of a essentially nothing burger as a controversy can make you successful. Guys, we need to get canceled on Twitter.
For being so problematic, and today they are the target of this individual who is trying to lead...
Oh, isn't that the same guy that made the VTuber Chud tier list? I'm in this tier list, which is kind of fun. Not tier list, this just like list, right? Just a collection of VTubers that are considered chuds. I'm in there. Yay. Don't know how. FYI, VTuber fans, mainstream ones, are gullible and will agree with whatever the VTuber says. That's because they're horny. And also because they genuinely believe that they have a chance with this VTuber. They don't, but they would like to genuinely believe that they do. Remember, guys, if your VTuber has a manager, that is the husband or boyfriend. And yes, she is right now, as she's streaming, wearing his underwear. I'm referencing a Shy Lily clip. You're still in my underwear, still. Can't support Israel flag, and 2 words I support. I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea. Do I at least get do I at least, so here's the thing, right? Do I at least get like the, what was it, 7,000 bucks from like the big Yahoo Benny? Anyway, I'm horny for you, Poker. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. You do know I wait until marriage, so you're gonna struggle a little bit.
A deplatforming campaign against these two for wrongthink. Now, of course, this individual is interesting to say the least. A self-described woke leftist autistic V-tweeter, that's a mouthful. But in their attempt to cancel these two VTubers, what happened? Well, they were exposed. People start analyzing their own tweets and start uncovering some really heinous interactions where they were trying to justify something that is truly diabolical. And all I can say before we get into that segment of the video is every single time one of these people try to virtue signal about problematic people, especially VTubers, they have some heinous stuff in their own history that I'm...
Okay. So, right. The thing is, right? Poker, look, he's from your race, a filthy Since when? Since when is Ref a slime? That's a new one. Right? It's interesting, right? Because, yes, you aren't filthy, you based. I'm completely confused now. Just get out of here. You're confusing me. Anyway, listen, okay? Listen. This guy has had plenty of meltdowns before. He will have plenty of meltdowns after that. At least he hasn't blocked me yet, which is really fun, right? Because I get to see and respond to his like schizophrenia. Can't really do that with Liam, aka Bint, right? That's a name that's public now. So like, there's that. And because I'm blocked, right? I'm also blocked by Anna Valens. Still haven't done Yara. I'm trying, but it hasn't happened yet. Anyway, moving on.
I'm sure they never thought would be brought to the light of day. But let's see what this person has been up to recently, because they're the person who says all VTubers should be political, and I guess they're trying to launch their own campaign based on that. Recently going after Mori, trying to see if she is privately a chud, because people made artwork of her and Pippa. I suggest a job application if this is something that is truly on the forefront of your mind. But also, I covered this tweet the other day where they were going after Tomoe, as well as Kirsha and Powder as well, trying to basically lump them together in some sort of political mess that leads to all.
Nobody said this could be like nobody said. I can't. Right, we covered this already. Right, and this Flabberjiggles does not understand that she's in the military, which means she cannot give her political take. She could be mega ultra giga leftist 9000, right, Damari? But that doesn't change anything of the fact that she can't say this. Right? Are you political poker? Yes. Yes, I am. By the sheer fact that I don't agree with these people, right? That makes me a Nazi, right wing, transphobic. Like I've heard all the buzzwords at this point. He's autistic. I am not, but I could make you acoustic by hitting you with a guitar. Anyway, why Sir Poker? What is a chud? Essentially, just somebody who's right wing. That's how they. That's how they. Right. I think that's the best way to describe it. Somebody who's right wing, essentially. Right. But she couldn't say it even if she wanted to because she's probably uh, um legally bound to not say it because that is her job. But I guess that's just too hard to understand for somebody whose entire identity is built on politics. These people would evaporate, die, essentially become like, how do you say this? They would come personality homeless, right? Because they're anything they view is through a political lens. If right now, right, if right now the political system in the United States would collapse, they'd be essentially homeless in their own mind because they would have nothing to do outside of that. That is their entire identity. You have a guitar, very out of character, to be honest. I have a bow, but I don't have a guitar. Sadly, I can't. I'm not I'm not a musician. I'm not good at. I'm not really musically gifted.
All of them being canceled by association because a user had the audacity to post a list of their 3 Oshis in the VTubing scene. Now, I guess that wasn't enough because just days later, they added this on, quoting Powder saying, "Didn't see her on my timeline for several days, and now it's back with some F stuff." And that's very ironic for 2 reasons. Number one, the reason you're seeing Powder so much on your timeline is because you don't.
You interact with her, and that's why you see it. It's very simple. These people like incapable of understanding. Every algorithm on any platform will recommend you what you consume and interact with. That means if you get Powder tweets, it's because, right? It's because you interact with Powder. It's that simple. We're just in Germany. German public broadcaster begins anti-immigration campaign. Warning of the dangers of immigrant as record time hits the region. Oh wait, it's about Ace. Yeah, they did this, by the way. He's the hunter. He hunts big booty Latina. Well, that's fine. Yeah, by the way, yes, that did get posted, by the way. That did get a little screen time on public state tax funded TV, by the way. We have two state TV thingies, right? And yes, they did essentially say AC dangerous. And they basically wanted to make it seem like the air conditioning that the United States uses heats up Europe. It's crazy, right? But they did try it. They did try it. They did say, "Oh, don't use air conditioning. It's harmful. More people die during the heat in Europe than people die through gun violence in the entirety of the United States yearly." Isn't that crazy?
Stop looking at her account and all of her posts. The algorithm is working as intended. It's giving you exactly what you've been looking for. And also, you just talked about her like 2 days ago. You made a quote going after her for being problematic. Of course, she's going to be on your timeline. And I'm sorry it took a couple days to see it again. But of course, it eventually leads to the post in question that already has a proposed note where they're whining about this interaction between Powder and Banana Juju. And that's where we really start with the context behind everything. Banana Juju, we've talked about her many times. She was the subject of a mass cancellation campaign about 2 years ago where people were seething about her VTuber design, mainly her.
This woman hasn't been around for It's been 2 years? No way, it's been 2 years. No fucking way, it's been 2 years? I've been doing reactions for 2 years.
Dreads and the pale skin of her VTuber model, thinking it's cultural appropriation. Now, of course, the VTubing scene loved to lecture about that, but she blew up overnight because of it, because people are tired of the virtue signaling and they rally behind her, and good for her for continuing to make content to this day and capitalizing on the attention that all the virtue signalers provided to her. Now, this is the post that kind of led to everything, where it is a screenshot of video from Sweden, where you can see the crowd here.
This is Sweden? This looks like in the middle of Paris. This is... Did Sweden get colonized? The reverse? What? No fucking way. What the? They're celebrating because Sweden scores a goal. None of these people are Swedish. It looks like. What happened? What? Where are the Swedes? Where are the Swedes? No wonder PewDiePie packed his shit and went to Japan. The real reason is the hot air from Africa is heating up the area and making it like a hot sauna, essentially. You're getting old, Poke? Fuck. What happened? I think Caraman used back. That's crazy. Yeah, we're getting canceled with this one. What the what? This is crazy. Where's Sweden?
Celebrating Sweden's goal in the World Cup, and Banana Juju says, "I don't."
So this is either African migrants, Middle Eastern migrants, and then they sprinkled in between is like some random Swedish people. If even, I can barely see. I can maybe count them on like one hand, 2 hands at best.
Don't recognize my country anymore. I wonder why.
That was like the only white dude in there.
When I think of Sweden, when you think of Sweden, what do you think?
Banana on pizza. I'm thinking of like white people with blonde hair. Instead, I see. I spotted an Asian too, bro. They have become a minority in their own country. That's so wild.
Does this represent what you would expect? I think a lot of people would say no, right? I don't think this is an outlandish tweet, but of course people are mad about it. Saying racists will see kids patriotically cheering and be furious about
Are you a patriot of your country if you aren't even from that country? Many said, I feel this is kind of sad, by the way. France is the exact same issue. That is crazy, by the way. Also, racist is, recognized. Stop noticing. Stop. Don't do this.
It. And I guess racism is now recognizing changes that are actually happening. Yes, they're happening. Whether you're on one side or the other, there are things happening. There's changes happening. It's okay to recognize that. But apparently, that's racism, according to these people on Twitter. Here's another quote just going mask off, saying, "Brings me great joy knowing there's nothing these people can do to stop it. And all they can do is cry and moan about their country being overrun from behind a anime girl avatar, LOL." So that thing they said is never happening is actually happening.
They are cheering. They are cheering our extinction. They're cheering on our extinction, essentially. The question is now, is this person white? Which there is a good chance, particularly a white woman. Or a man pretending to be a woman. It's one of those. No friends, my Ratatouille. Ratatouille is over.
Happening, and now they're saying it's actually a good thing and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm glad they're just clarifying everything that's happening and just going full mask off. I really appreciate the candor of individuals like this on Twitter who really love removing the mask the first chance they get. But then there's another person quoting saying, "Brother, I'm sorry, but I don't think your ancestors would recognize you either," with a screenshot of her VTuber model.
No. You don't realize the VTuber avatar is actually the real person. They're real anime people walking around, right? We have real anime people walking around, right? I'm actually not a white boy from Germany. I'm actually a real anime boy. I'm a slime, right? You could shoot me with a bullet and I would stand there unfazed. It would just go right through me. What is people? Oh, it's another case of reality. I can't differentiate between reality and fiction.
Okay, what are you talking about? That's not a real person. Like, do you need some help? Do you not know how to distinguish fiction from reality? You think this is a real person on your screen right now? Makes no sense. And then, of course, doing the usual stuff. 400 poontang addicted VTuber hashtag LOL. And Banana Juju with the only appropriate response in this situation and ratioing them into the Shadow Realm and apparently into submission as well. But this is where Powder gets involved. Obviously, another very controversial VTuber. People.
I love her header. Elf charged for hate crime. Suspect claims, how is it a hate crime if I love doing it? I just noticed that. I've just fucking noticed that. Wow. That's great. Oh, wait, Powder is great. I like Powder.
Love to virtue signal about her. She is someone who routinely gets these cancellation campaigns against her, and all it does is bring more attention to her account. She can get more attention. If these people learned that is the cycle they are producing and actually wanted to stop giving attention to these people they hate so much, maybe they would stop doing this, but they're very impulsive. They can't help themselves. They love the virtue signal more than they love to exercise any logic, so they keep this cycle going. Now, Powder would reply saying, "My heart breaks, bunch of animals." And that really upset the...
That's kind of crazy. She's doing it for the love of the game. She is. There's only, I think, one unjustified controversy that Powder had, and that was when she crashed out because her model was so basic that it almost looked like, right, that somebody else made essentially almost the same basic model. That's the only thing she actually ever did that I would consider wrong, and, well, now we're here.
The main protagonist of today's video, Flabber Jiggles, our very woke V-tweeter here, who is very upset. Of course, they say all VTubers should be political, but only in the way that is acceptable to this individual. You know, be political, but not like that, right? So they make their post screenshotting this interaction between Powder and Banana Juju and say, can we do something about how big of a platform these two are allowed to have? Which is a very implicit way of saying, I want them deplatformed. This is how the other side works, okay? They can't counter anything you're saying, they can't provide a counter argument. All they want to do is silence you forcibly by deplatforming you, ruining your sponsorships, ruining your platforms. That's the only way they know how to deal with people who think differently than them.
They can't fight fair, so they cut off your income. They cannot fight fair. They cannot make posts, make videos, make Google Docies, whatever. They have to cut off your finances because that's the only way they know how to defend themselves, because otherwise they stand zero chance. None. These people are weak.
Now you can see this interaction again completely mask off, really exposing what it's all about. And it's just cancel culture, just canceling people and trying to deplatform them no matter the cost. So you can see one reply saying, stay mad. Idiots like you indirectly gave them a platform, which is entirely true. The people making all these cancel posts don't realize they are only helping in the long run the people they're so mad about. But this user goes mask off saying, is the only one you guys can have. We kicked you out of every con. Enjoy Twitter. So here they are just saying, yeah, we go after every one of your opportunities, including appearances at conventions. We're going to put a stop to that. That's what.
Well, most conventions are weird nowadays anyway, right? For example, why would you attend Offkai? They're literally fine with having kids roam around seeing OF stuff, because it's essentially in the main hall. Why would you go to a con that essentially supports exposing minors to underage stuff? I mean, to us, freedom to say anything is the biggest power you have. Use it. Essentially, yeah. Well, unless you're sued in Europe because they're pushing the Kids Online Safety Act for the entirety of Europe. And fun fact, if you thought US pros are safe, no, you're not. They're passing bills and they're actually getting through. Even you in the US will have to use your ID in the future to use the internet, which means everything you say or do is now directly tied to your real person, the real person, to you, the person behind the account. It'll happen, and you're not getting away with it. Enjoy the freedom of speech you have, because in 10 years you won't.
We're doing, and it's a good thing, actually. You know, again, it's another one of those things that was never happening. Then, yeah, it's definitely happening. Oh, wait, it is happening, and now it's a really good thing. Be mad about it, right? They can't even express why certain VTubers like this shouldn't be allowed at conventions and what have you. But the other replies are roasting this original poster, showing their all VTubers should be political mantra. Again, only political if it aligns with their politics. That's the only kind that's allowed. Here is another reply saying, yet you made a VTuber chud / woke list promoting them. Not very woke of you, flabberjiggles. And yes, we have shown this before. This totally sane individual has created a Google spreadsheet of hundreds of VTubers, categorizing them as woke, chud,
So there's woke, chud. Those are both the final forms. Presumed woke, unclear, or a lean chud. Fun fact. The idea of a lean chud essentially leaves open the opportunity of a fat chud. Anyway. Right? You couldn't just write presumed chud. He had to type in lean chud. But yeah, that means there's a fat chud probably somewhere out there. Yeah, see the thing is, I don't see your name, Poke, because it is alphabetically listed. That's why. Fun fact, right? which is interesting, right? Fun fact. Um, it doesn't matter if India would introduce it, Joe. What matters is the fact that once Europe and the US properly do it, there is no reason to not just permanently implement it for everyone, right? Right? It just makes sense.
Lean Chud, Lean Woke, and my favorite, Presumed Woke, which they attach to typically minorities or women who they don't know about their political stances, and they just presume their.
Considering that for Bao it works actually because Bao is a misandrist, right? We have like outright. She just confirmed it, right? Basically, with all the drama around her, so like this is fine, right? This makes sense.
Woke because of their identity, which is very racist and offensive, but you can see the labels here. And oh, look at that. Banana Juju sitting at a chud, all in red. Very tough stuff. Now, is there a reason provided? A tweet. Let's check it out. Gives me pandemic vibes when the millionaires tried to tell me what to do, but this time with lesser known people. Karens of an animal abuser, where people are mad about ice and Banana Juju is mocking them. So that's it. You are a chud for life based on that. But of course, we got to check out the other person being talked about today, and that is Powder. I mean, look at this list. It's
Powder. There's Pete. There's Pete. Ah, there I am. I'm in the video. There I am. I'm for here. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. I am here. I am here. This is me. You didn't see me there? Now you did. There I am. This is me. I'm the chud. I'm part of the chuds. Perfect, isn't it? Wonderful. Wonderful.
crazy. But you scroll down, you knew it was coming, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, Powder, chud. Now, is there any reason provided for that? None. It speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. Very funny stuff. But, of course, this gets much darker. It takes a turn. So you have replies like this saying, shut up, you freak, and keep away from children. Now, what is this individual talking about? Well, again, we need some context. This relates to a thread.
No, it's anal violence. Wait, giant is video prone to Yuri. Vor. Spam him with Epstein I love Yuri memes. Anyway, I take my words back. You better do. I'll put you on the chud list. I am a chud. Wait, what was your reason? No reason was given. Many don't have a reason. I don't even know if Flabberjiggles added me or somebody else did. Right? Because then eventually he just essentially made it possible to give out a form, right? That you could fill out and then just send them.
About Anna Valens, the Vice reporter who tried to cancel Kirsha, but also made this hit piece on the VTuber agency.
Well, that VTuber agency apparently does no longer exist. Yeah, Via Lure is dead. They essentially announced another gen, right? And then immediately after it, right, the whole agency fell apart, which means there has been some real shit happening behind the scenes. Moving on.
The Allure, where in the article they not only accused the company of transphobia, but also implied that they're predatory based on the fact that they have lolly VTuber models in their agency.
Mind you, says so a person wrote this article, right? That essentially, quote unquote, has a child-loving compulsive disorder. That's all you need to know. The call is coming from inside the house. Wait, so I can fill form and change the chud into gay? No, that doesn't work that way. That doesn't work that way. You only have those options to pick.
Now, of course, people point out the unbelievable hypocrisy of this. Mainly, I guess, Exhibit 1 here, an article written in 2020 by Anna Valens, where they were playing Fall Guys with an adult toy attached to themselves, rigged, where if they interacted with players, the toy would respond, basically getting gratification off of play.
So you're playing this game, your son's playing this game, or your daughter's playing this game, runs into Anna, right? Runs into Anna, and his toy goes off. If you, like, tell me you don't think this is weird, because I think this is mega weird. This is just really weird and gross, and I don't know what bro was thinking when he wrote this. And then obviously, right, if you know the audios of the macaroni in the pot, you know, the breeding camps for the breeding facilities for straight women. Was it straight women or straight white women? Anyway, the breeding facilities, you get the idea, right? Multiple breeding facilities. Anyway,
Players without their consents, which makes it even crazier because this is a game that is primarily played by children. If you don't see a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. This is beyond disgusting behavior. But the thread we're going to look at now was discussing this and how consent works and how stuff like this is extremely wrong. But of course, going down through the conversation, one user was bringing up scenarios where there was public scenarios where someone wasn't directly engaging with something that is without someone's consents, but they didn't get caught. And Flabberjiggles here was trying to justify it as no big deal as long as no.
and you're right. If that's the case, then what is the difference between someone beating it up? They're both bad, but taking the is worse. Yeah, obviously, I don't think it's a crime to, unless you saying that. So, hold up. Hold up. Hold the fuck. Hold up. So is he saying that it would be fine if somebody yanked it to a beach photo of an underage person? Because that's not. Hopefully, I'm not misreading this.
One notices. And here, you can see them saying, dang, you're right. But if this is the case, then what is the difference between that and someone getting off to any other photo of a child? We're talking about whether or not the photo was taken with knowledge. But to this individual, it doesn't matter if they knew or not. And also, what's the big deal, apparently, according to them, if someone's getting off to that? And the other user says they're both bad, but taking the photo of a real child is worse. Where they reply saying, I don't think it's a crime to get off to anything unless you obtain that anything illicitly. So as long as, I guess, it was taken not in an illegal way, you can do whatever you want to it according to this individual. Wow. So yeah, this thread's not going the way they.
That's rather interesting. I guess you've been seeing a few streamers getting suspended because of an 80+ stream. I'm not mentioning it. I don't know how that works. I leave it to you. I guess mention it's a 18+ stream in description. I guess I don't know. Usually, right, you click this little thing of not for kids. And technically that should be the right thing, but apparently if they have added something, well, then why the fuck do they not just add a new feature for like 18+? Well, that's great. Anyway, how is it that any platform gets worse once an Indian CEO takes over? I see a pattern. I don't want to be racist, but I see a pattern.
Thought, because without going after people like Powder and Banana Juju, people would have not discovered things like that. And it's truly heinous. It's every single time. The people who are wagging their fingers at all the problematic VTubers, what they're saying right there is infinitely more concerning and disgusting and problematic than anything these other VTubers are doing.
I mean, arguably, his argument would technically be that it's fine to beat it to a photo of a minor if you didn't obtain it illegally. If it's not illegal material, which is insane. He's technically saying exactly that. He is technically.
It is pure projection, ladies and gentlemen, and I guess you kind of reap what you sow when you try to make an entire identity about canceling wrong thing people when you have your own actual crazy tweets still live. Those aren't even screenshots, those are still live to this day. Did we learn anything? Probably not. This individual will probably continue doing this over and over again. I'm sure they have some sick justification for that heinous interaction we just saw, but that's the way these people roll, I guess. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like.
Indeed, give the video a like, his and mine, and sub. Thank you. Thank you. To summarize, this dude's just mentally ill. I've encountered this dude so much on Twitter. I've seen this man so much on Twitter have shitty horseshit, like, savable posts. But the recent one, the one just right now, that is a red flag. Check the man's hard drive. That's all I'm gonna say. Check the man's hard drive. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, Sweden is unrecognizable. It's very interesting.